My name is Bonnie Perkins. My maiden name was Kidwell, and I was married for 51 years to Frank and Alan Perkins.
My name is Dale Erickson.
Amy Erickson.
Barbra Newbanks.
Don and Newbanks.
I'm Lisa Sonsthagen.
My mother and father brought me when I was 3 weeks old. That has been 83 years that I've been in attendance at the First Baptist Church of Olathe. My great-grandfather attended this church. My grandparents were members. My parents were members. I'm a member, aunt and uncles. So it runs in several generations of my family. First Baptist Church has always been in my life.
I started coming to First Baptist Church of Olathe when I was probably 2 years old. And I was here up until graduating high school, and then spent some time away, college, adult life. And then I am now returned at the end of 2022 and been here for almost 6 months now.
So I started coming to youth group when I was about 13. I had met a boy named Dale Erickson, and our churches did things together. But I started coming to youth group and just fell in love with the church family here. And so I just tried to come to youth group as much as I could. Even though I attended other churches with my family, I always felt like First Baptist Olathe was a church home for me and a church family all through the years.
1955 about.
Well, I came here in about 1940 or 1941. Some odd years.
I feel that the members were friends, and I could always depend on them to help me through situations which I have had in my life. A community, friends, family. It taught me to go and work for the Lord. Did not have to be a missionary or a pastor. You can do that in any walk of life that you choose. And so I chose to serve Him through my life, and I am still trying to serve Him through volunteer and helping others. I have been very blessed in my life, and I think a lot of it has to do with the friends and family and the people that I have met through this church. They have led me, I think, in a lot of ways down the right path, and I am very, very grateful, very, very thankful for all of them that have touched my life.
There have been a lot of people in my growing up here that have invested in me, namely Miss Debbie and Charles. I can remember being in Sunday school as a young boy, and I have vivid memories of felt board stories in Sunday school with Miss Debbie, and just her teaching me the stories of the Bible and how that impacts my life. And First Baptist has always been a place for me that I know I can always call home and always have people to love on me and encourage me. It's the place where Amy and I chose to get married because it played such a role in our lives. And in coming back at the end of 2022, just being welcomed with open arms and loving arms from many that were here when I was younger was a true gift and blessing in coming back, and now being able to invest in this church and do a new thing here is an incredible blessing.
Growing up, my parents were divorced, and I was walking through some hard things, and I just really felt like First Baptist Church Olathe, specifically people who were involved in the youth ministry, just really surrounded me like family, made me feel like I had a support system and people who loved me and wanted to walk with me through not just the good things, but the hard things. And that just meant a lot to me. It was just a safe place for me through my teen years.
Well, I soon after I started going, because I brought our two youngest boys, one of them wasn't really walking yet, and kind of was put in with a couple other women in charge of the babies on the floor. And from there, I went to kindergarten and worked there for several years, and then to elementary school level. And over the years, I've worked with the Girls Guild, which is no longer Girls Guild. They have another name for it. And really never got involved in the circles until about 1985 or 80 even, I guess, because I went to work in 1967 and worked with Cub Scouts at the church while he was working with the Boy Scouts. Just over the years, in fact, a lot of people, when they retire, they stay in touch with the people they've worked with. That wasn't my case. My friends were here at the church.
Well, when I first joined, I was pretty young, of course, and probably for several years I wasn't a real good Christian. I'd been baptized and everything, but then I rededicated my life when I was about 35 or so, and it's been I've been busy at everything in the church ever since. Seemed like about the time we come in there, I was on a committee from one till just a few years ago. The first committee I was on was Finance Committee. And then I was on, when we started talking about moving, I was on a committee until this building here, the sanctuary, was finished, one way or the other. I was moderator and part of that time. And raising money, of course, to build this building. We were really involved in fellowship and small groups and prayer groups and things like that, and seemed like there was always something going on, and had a lot of good people in this church. We've had an awful lot, and we appreciate the camaraderie with the people here, and I try to meet anybody that comes to the church. If somebody walks in that door, they're potential members, and it's up to you and I to make them comfortable and to come to this church.
So I moved here in December of 1974 with my mom and dad and sister, and we did not have any family or friends in this area, but a neighbor down the street, Sandy Alexander, invited us to church one night. And the next thing you know, we're involved in the Wednesday night, this and that, children's activities they had, and was feeling very connected with different members. I have felt loved by so many honorary grandparents that First Baptist, I felt like I belonged here because just the smile, the kidding, or the just little small talk they did made me feel really good. And then, of course, as I got older, it wasn't just small talk, but then being in different groups really helped shape me through VBS, Sunday school, Bible studies, youth group, conferences. They really lit a fire in me to know Jesus more, showed me how to pray the scriptures over family and friends, and keep strengthening my faith and desire to share it with others. I'm very thankful for First Baptist.
One of the best mentors of my life is Jane Allen. She and her mother were mentors, and were just women of faith, and taught me that you could do whatever you wanted to do in life, but do it for the Lord. I could name people back through the years. Lydia Little and Mrs. Wright, Mary Greer, Naomi Jameson, Edna Lyons, and of course, always my dear mother, Catherine Kidwell.
So many memories of Miss Debbie and all the years that she poured into both Dale and I. I can remember overnights at Miss Debbie's house and sleepovers with the youth, and just her willingness to just walk in such a humble and compassionate way. You just knew she was always there, and we just so much love for Debbie and Charles and so many people in this church that just surrounded and poured into us. And but Miss Debbie definitely sticks out as a front runner in that.
Oh, I think the people are they're the network. In other words, I like to see these young kids grow up, and I didn't know I was getting old till my kids started retiring. And so that's where we're at right now. Part of these people that you see in doing the business end of this church, they were in Sunday school from Barbara, and so you know they're 65 years old now. So you want them to do good, but you also want their kids to do good. And if you talk to them, hey, find out what's the best thing for them to do and get at it, you know. Because the only thing we're working for right now is our kids, grandkids, great-grandkids. Because our oldest great-granddaughter is what, 35? And we like to see our great kids go up and do well in life.